Hello, dear students. Hope you all are well. Welcome back to our another video. Today, I am going to discuss the title of the short story Bonku Babu's Friend, written by Satyajit Ray. You all know that the title is a very important part of a literary work, and Bonku Babu's Friend is also not an exception. It is also very important. The title Bonku Babu's Friend is very, very important. The story Bonku Babu's Friend revolves around Bonku Bihari Datta, commonly known as Bonku Babu, who is a primary teacher of Kakurgachi. He is a very calm and composed person, but these are the flaws of his character. His students and his associates always bullied him, made fun of him, and had prank on him. They always took the advantage of his meekness. It shows that his so-called friends cannot be told as true friends. In this story, what you see? Ang, the alien, is his only two friends. After meeting the alien, Ang, he realized his true potential. Ang changed him totally. Bonku Babu and Ang had not met previously, though the alien Ang and Bonku Babu met only once and did not know each other. Ang showed him his potential and proved that he is his true friend. He did not unnecessarily praise Bonku Babu, rather showed him the flaws in his characters. Like a true friend, he guided him, he motivated him, and told him to stand up against all injustice for himself. And thus, he transformed Bonku Babu completely. So, here, in this title, Bonku Babu's Friend, the term friend is very important. Here, in the story, we have found two types of friends of Bonku Babu. First of all, known friends who are called the associates, whom he met or usually met in the evening meetings. But those known friends always bullied him, made fun of him, and showed they are not his true friends. On the other hand, Ang met only once with Bonku Babu, but within this single meeting, he has changed Bonku Babu completely. He guided him, he advised him to stand up against all odds and prove to be the true friend of Bonku Babu. That means those so-called friends are not the real friends. This unknown friend is the true friend of Bonku Babu. So, the title of the story is apt, but little bit ironic. So, this is the title of the short story Bonku Babu's Friend. Hope you all have understood. If you have any kind of doubts, come to the comment section. We will try to clear all the doubts of yours. Now, I am going to discuss the characterization of the short story Bonku Babu's Friend. While going through the story, we have come across the characters like Bonku Babu, Ang, and the associates of Bonku Babu. Now, I'll discuss all those characters. First, Bonku Babu. Bonku Babu is the primary teacher of Kakurgachi. He is a very calm and composed person. Almost everyone associated with him bullied him, made fun of him, had prank on him. But nobody had ever seen him getting angry. All his students used to bully him. He had been teaching in the school for 22 years, and it became a tradition of the student to tease him. They used to make cartoon of him on the board, used glues on the chair, and there are other things that they made to tease Bonku Babu. But Bonku Babu never get angry. He always had the belief for a handful of good students. In the evening, he used to go to the house of Sripati Majumdar, where other friends also joined him. There also, his associates or friends, so-called friends, bullied him, made fun of him. Generally, he never talks in this meeting. But whenever he started to speak, his friends started to bully him. They even told him a specimen who should be inside a zoo or a museum. Though Bonku Babu looked meek, he showed his strength and courage when he saw the spaceship in the bamboo grove of Panchahos. With curiosity, he went forward to watch what was that object, and he understood that something mysterious was going to happen with him. He went forward. He continued. There he met Ang, the alien. Firstly, he was little bit nervous, but ultimately he started his conversation with Ang, and Ang guided him, advised him, showed him his potential. He advised him to stand against all the injustices for himself, and he transformed him completely. Then Bonku Babu went back to the meeting again, and his associates had been paid back their own coin. They are stunned watching Bonku Babu, a different person. They didn't understand what had happened. And Bonku Babu, after bullying them, came back from there and never went back again. So this is the characterization of Bonku Babu. Now, the second most important character, Ang, the alien. In the story, Ang is the second most important character who belonged to the planet Cranius. He wanted to go to Pluto, but for the fault of the instruments, he landed on Earth and Bonku Babu faced him. He was about 4 feet tall with a huge smooth head. His legs and hands are very thin. He knew 14,000 languages, and he told that all the languages of the solar system are known to him. He was a keen observer of character. After starting the conversation with Bonku Babu, he understood that Bonku Babu is too meek and passive. He advised him to shun off this meekness and should have the confidence to stand against all the things that hurt him, and he should do it for himself. He made Bonku Babu to realize his true potential. He guided him and transformed him totally. Though Bonku Babu met Ang only once, but Ang proved him to be the true friend. In this story, Bonku Babu's friend, Ang is that friend of Bonku Babu. The next characters of the story are the associates. Mean Bonku Babu used to go in the evening for the meeting at Sripati Majumdar's house. Their other friends also met with him. Those friends, those so-called friends, are not the true friends of Bonku Babu, because they always bullied him and made fun of him. Whenever Bonku Babu wanted to say something, they bullied him. Even they called him the specimen who should be inside a zoo or a museum. A true friend can never told a friend like this. They did not set the example to be the true friends. So these are the main characters of the story: Bonku Babu, Ang, and the associates. Another very important aspect of a short story is its themes. And while reading Bonku Babu's Friend, I have got some themes like bullying, self-confidence, and friendship. First, bullying. Bonku Babu was a primary teacher, but he was meek and passive, and all the people related to him took that advantage. Even his students made it a tradition to tease him. For 22 years, he had been teaching in the school, and the students made it a tradition to tease him, bully him. Even his so-called friends, whom he met at the house of Sripati Majumdar, they also bullied him, made fun of him. He became a specimen of things of fun for them. They even told him to be inside a museum or a zoo. But one day, this had an end when Bonku Babu met Ang. Ang changed Bonku Babu completely. He had boosted Bonku Babu with self-respect. He told him to shun off his meekness and stand against all the injustice. And Bonku Babu became a different person. A change had come into him. The second theme of the story is self-confidence. Self-confidence for an individual is a very important thing because it helps him to face any kind of challenges. Bonku Babu lacked this self-confidence. For this reason, he had been always bullied by his students and his associates. But that changed only when he met Ang. Ang changed him and put self-confidence in him. And Bonku Babu realized his real potential, and he started to protest against the injustice that had been made on him. The third theme of the story is friendship. As the title is Bonku Babu's Friend, you all know that friendship is a very important aspect for the short story. In this story, we have found two kinds of friends. First, the associates of Bonku Babu, who are so-called friends, who always used to bully him. So they cannot be the true friends. On the other hand, Ang met Bonku Babu only once. But he proved himself to be his true friend. He advised him, he guided him to be a changed person. He showed him his real potential, and Bonku Babu was completely changed after the conversation with Ang. So, those known friends, those associates cannot be the true friends. On the other hand, Ang, whom Bonku Babu met for only once, became the true friend of Bonku Babu. So these are the themes of the short story Bonku Babu's Friend. So students, I have thoroughly discussed the title, the characterization, and the theme of the short story Bonku Babu's Friend. Hope you all have understood. If you have any kind of doubt, come to the comment box. We will be always with you to clear your all kind of doubts. In the next video, I will discuss the question answer of the short story. So stay with us and watch our video. A lot is going to come. Jai Hind.